Chère Nathalie, Excellencies, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure and an honor to welcome you to Geneva for DCAF's 25th anniversary and to open today's discussions alongside my colleague and friend, Ambassador Nathalie Chouard. DCAF's anniversary represents more than just an institutional milestone. It is a reminder that Switzerland believes security based on trust, dialogue, and human dignity is not only possible, but also essential. 25 years is more than just a date. It represents a generation of impact and is a testament to DCAF's lasting relevance and excellence. I would like to thank here DCAF and all the partners who have contributed to this 25-year success story. Your engagement reflects a shared conviction that effective, accountable, and inclusive security sector governance is essential for achieving sustainable peace, stability, and human dignity. It is encouraging to see this room filled with practitioners, policymakers, academics, and civil society leaders who work tirelessly to turn these principles into reality. DCAF and its two sister centers, the Geneva's International Center for Humanitarian Demining and the Geneva Center for Security Policy, were all established by Switzerland between 1995 and 2000. Switzerland created these institutions with a clear purpose: to contribute to peace and the rules-based international order, and to provide the international community with a high-quality expertise on humanitarian, peace, and security policy issues. This founding vision is still highly relevant today, perhaps even more so. We are living in a time of profound global uncertainty, and Nathalie has already alluded to that. Across the world, we are witnessing rising geopolitical competition, an increase in international armed conflicts, and the erosion of the norms that have shaped international cooperation for decades. Climate change is exacerbating security risks, from resource pressures to forced displacement. Technologies ranging from artificial intelligence to cyber capabilities are reshaping the security landscape faster than institutions do. At the same time, democratic backsliding undermines the rule of law, breeds distrust, and reduces opportunities for dialogue. In this context, how security institutions are governed becomes crucial. Good governance is not just an added bonus for security. It is essential. It is the backbone of human-centered security. Evidence shows that societies with transparent, accountable security institutions anchored in the rule of law are more resilient. In such societies, conflicts are less likely to escalate, and people are better able to live with dignity. This is why today's discussions are so important. For Switzerland, security sector governance has long been a strategic priority, grounded in our commitment to peace, human rights, and international cooperation. Promoting a peaceful world is more than just a foreign policy objective. It is enshrined in our constitution and reflects our national interest in global stability, human security, and the rule of law. Our support for DCAF, alongside GCSP and GICHT, and the wider Geneva ecosystem, enables us to put these principles into practice. However, DCAF is more than just an institution that we host or fund. It is a cornerstone of Swiss foreign policy. It brings Swiss values to some of the world's most challenging environments. Through stronger oversight, institutional reform, accountability, and inclusive security, DCAF transforms principles into tangible improvements in people's lives. This ability to transform values and principle into tangible results brings us to the theme of today's conference, Words into Action. there could not be a more fitting topic. Around the world, we have no shortage of principles, declarations, or policy frameworks. What is often missing, though, is their translation into day-to-day practice. So what does words into action actually mean for security sector governance? In my view, it involves 4 key elements. First, placing people at the center of security. Institutions exist to serve the population, not the other way around. Secondly, we must respond to the context. Reforms cannot simply be copied from other regions. They must be locally owned and adapted to local circumstances. Third, there must be accountability and transparency. Without these, trust erodes and resilience weakens. And finally, inclusion. Time and again, evidence has shown that inclusive approaches lead to better outcomes, including greater legitimacy, effectiveness, and durable peace. These principles cut across all the panels we will hear from today. The first one on the future of security sector governance in a changing geopolitical world. The second on urgent need to rethink models in Syria, Lebanon, and the wider Middle East, and the third one on persistent barriers to inclusive security. Each discussion addresses a different aspect of the same challenge: how to build security sectors that protect people, uphold rights, and foster stability, even in the most challenging environments. In view of these 3 panels, I think 3 aspects are particularly important. First, bridge the gap between policy and practice. Evidence tells us what works. However, putting these into practice requires political courage, technical expertise, and above all, strong partnerships. Second, invest in trust. Trust is essential between institutions and the populations they serve, between state and non-state actors, and among international partners working towards shared goals. Without trust, reforms remain superficial. And thirdly, stay ambitious. In a world that is often focused on short-term security imperatives, it is important to remember that long-term stability depends on human rights, democratic governance, and the rule of law. Beyond today's discussions, I am confident that if DCAF continues to bridge the gap between policy and practice, invests in trust, and maintains its ambition, the Centre will remain as relevant and trusted as it is today. And in 25 years' time, we will celebrate the next milestone with the same pride, purpose, and sense of shared achievement that unites us here today. Thank you.